In Acts chapter 2, we read about the establishment of the first community of believers. And in this particular chapter, we read how Peter spoke to the people and told them about this Messiah, this one that died, was resurrected from a very Hebrew perspective. And then we read this in verse 41. It says, "Then they that gladly received his word were baptized, and the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls." Then it continues to tell us what they did in that congregation or in that community. It says, "And they continued steadfast in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and breaking of bread and in prayers." And then it says this, "And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. And all that believed were together and had all things common." This is a very troublesome thing. It's a difficult thing. How do we share our lives in a community so that everyone's needs will be met? Because listen what this particular scripture says. It goes on and says, "And sold their possessions and goods and parted them to all men, as every man had need. And they continued daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God and having favor with all the people." This is not just the believers, it's everybody in Jerusalem. It says, "And the Lord added to this ecclesia, this community of believers, daily, such as should be saved." This, when you read it, you say, wow, this is what a vibrant community of believers should be like. Now, we are going to come to South Africa in January and February, from the middle of January to the middle of February. And in Southern Africa, we want to have 5 weekends. And you can have a look at this on the website under our calendar, and you will be able to see when we will be where. But what we want to do is we want to have weekend retreats where we're going to speak about how do we walk together as a vibrant community of believers in which we will see that everybody's need is met, and that signs and wonders will happen, and that other people in the community will also be born again, that other people will become part of it, that people will actually want to say, "I want to be part of this." So we will speak about how does such a community function? What makes us become one in such a community? How does finances work in such a community? And how is it possible that nobody has need? Because how do we balance out this, that we can have personal wealth and wealth creation, yet that no one will have need? So where does my right to personal wealth stops, and where does the right of the community start? We need to speak about this. What actions, what initiatives should there be in such a community? Because I think sometimes we have so many activities in a community in the hope that a community will grow. But when we look at this, it's really simple. So what's the basis of such a community? We will go through the book of Acts, but I want to say this. God's not taking us back to the book of Acts. He's taking us forward to the community of revelation. I'm going to see you in South Africa, and it would be wonderful to have one of these weekends, have you just be there and come and learn, so that we can walk together as a community of believers in which signs and wonders will happen, in which people will be added daily, and in which everybody's needs will be met without trying to build a kingdom for a person, but to do this for the Messiah. See you at the retreats.